Everybody, welcome back to Primetime Muscle. I'm Tim Wilkins. As always, joined by the real deal icon, Hall of Fame bodybuilder Chris Cormier.
It's me. How you guys doing? Good to see you. Good to be back.
Good to have you, my friend. And Tarek Elgindi, super judge, promoter. What's going on, my friend?
Doing great, Tim Wilkins. Always great to see you. As you know, since we started Primetime Muscle, you are my favorite. I know this is not a lot of merit because the comparison you have is really not that relevant. Also, good to see you, Chris.
You too, buddy.
So guys, a lot going on in the sport. A lot of qualifications. A lot of people punching their ticket to the Olympia, and a lot of good rivalries going on right now. You created a thing we talk about quite often. If you haven't seen the Olympia Battles, we urge you, go back on Olympia TV, watch the Olympia Battles. Start off with Chris Bumstead versus Ramon Dino. Move on to the physique division with Aaron Banks and Jeremy Buendia. Olympia Battle 3 rolled around. I was coming back from a family vacation and couldn't make it out here for the big boys, for Derek Lunsford and Samson Dauda.
Here's the thing. We had done Olympia Battle with C-Bum versus Ramon. Then we did Olympia Battle with Jeremy Buendia and Aaron Banks. When those two animals walked into the gym, you could tell you are dealing with open bodybuilding. That's the freaking big ticket, man. I mean, Samson Dauda was wearing a tank top, and there was almost like an awkward silence. Like, I honestly felt like even Derek maybe noticed, like, why is everybody looking at him and nobody saying anything? Because it was scary. It was like Samson Dauda looked like an animal, a complete animal. I was a little taken by it. He's tall and he's massive. Then, I think Derek maybe was quiet, confident, smiling throughout it. And then when Derek took off his shirt, I literally saw for the first time a human that looked like a muscular rhinoceros. Okay, that's the equivalent of a muscular rhinoceros in a human form. And I looked at Derek without a shirt and I said, when he opened his back lat spread, Tim, I thought this could very well be one of the freakiest shots. And sometimes the freakiest shots are not on stage. Sometimes the freakiest shots are 6 months out, or at the gym when they do something. It was historical. It was iconic. Those guys fought all the way through it. It was one of the closest ones in voting. And man, those guys are animals. They're not humans.
So, Chris, the big boys. What kind of, you talk about intensity, form, reps. Let's talk weight. Did these guys throw it around?
I mean, they were pulling. We did back again. As far as carving up, these guys was eating all the way up until they started to train. I don't know if that was by design, but Samson was still. We had to wait because he wanted to finish another meal before we started the training. And he was making a lot of comments about being 225, being, so much, I don't know how many pounds over Derek he was. But when I gotta say, when the rubber met the road.
You said 225. We're thinking 325.
325.
325. Just so people watching know, he puts it in kilos, and I have to do math, but I know it's over 300.
Yeah, and it was 325. I'm sorry. So, I mean, as my comrade over there said, when Derek took his shirt off, it wasn't even a pose. He was just standing there. You could see the massive girth, if you will, just hanging from his body. And I feel like the weights they were using was comparable to what they looked like. A lot of guys, to me, their bodies don't look like the weight that they actually use or the training intensity that they actually use. But these guys, I mean, it was the open competition, and that's where it's at.
Now, here's a question for you both. So, there's times we see a guest poser, right? And we're so excited. Oh, my favorite bodybuilder's here. And they come out on stage, they're oiled up, and it's not a muscular rhinoceros, it's a muscular hippopotamus or a muscular water buffalo. It's just blobs of big muscle that look like they should have been a bouncer at the Red Onion in the San Fernando Valley in '92, wearing clown pants and the cutoff sweatshirt. But these guys are staying closer to shape off season. What kind of shape were these guys in?
Oh my God, it was amazing. I mean, Samson had the serratus and the obliques. He hit that, and then Derek, he had striations in his quads then, and that was before the diet had started for the Olympia. I can imagine what that's going to look like when he dials the body down, and having striations in the quads in the off season. That's something I would have five weeks out, and I'd be happy with that. But this guy is starting to diet out with that, and the back double bicep, the back lat spread, all that stuff was just gigantosaurus, if that's the word.
Say that one more time, please.
Gigantosaurus.
You learned that on the video games, huh?
You thought I couldn't say it again.
I was like, that's not a word. That's not a word.
What do you think, Derek, when looking at these guys?
Man, I got to tell you, I think when you talk about the Mr. Olympia, we have all these categories. We love all these categories. Classic has become so popular. Chris Bumstead, and then you got the men's physique, the entry level, millions of competitors all over the world decided to compete. But when you look at Derek Lunsford and Samson Dauda at a gym working out, you understand why bodybuilding is so freaking popular. Those are not humans. Those are different types of beings. They don't look like human beings. They look different. I want to pay a lot of money to watch them pose, to watch them work out. It was incredible. I can't wait for the next Olympia battle. I've heard rumors, and I'm not quite sure about this. Chris Cormier might have some more information on this. I heard rumors that we might have Olympia battle close to the Olympia with possibly the current Mr. Olympia, Hadi Chupin, and somebody else. I'm just saying
Just
this.
put it out there like that.
I'm just saying it might happen. I've heard.
Well, guys, let's talk about the top 5 to 7 this year. And I want to point out, this is an interesting lesson for the casual bodybuilder who thinks this is where I'm going with my life, my career, whatever you're doing. You make the difference between winning your local show, winning a state show. You're going to go to nationals, and maybe you get your pro card. That jump into your first pro show is massive. That jump into a show like the Olympia, you look at the guys that are 15th through 25th who are just the gods of Mount Olympus at other shows. To break that top 15, to break the top 10, to break the top 7. And now we've got guys like Samson Dauda, who is going to be just chomping at it this year for that top 3 spots. You got Hunter making a comeback. Derek is going to stay up there. Hadi's going to be fighting everybody off. And there's one or two, Nick Walker. I cannot forget Nick because the Mutant fans will light me up. Guys, how scrambled could this be, and how much of a battle is it for that top 7?
Well, you would think how everything is going, Samson is going to move up in the rankings, but it's like someone's coming out and someone's coming in. You have the Libratas and everything of this world. These people are making improvements and having great off seasons, and Derek is looking at one thing, and that's like he feels that everyone else is far behind him as far as numbers on a judging card, and he feels there's one guy that was very close to him and eclipsing that guy. And I know he's thinking about nothing but winning the competition, being the best in the world. I personally think he's reached the best in the world in his physique, in my personal opinion. And, he's got company, because everyone's getting better. Nick Walker's getting better. All these guys are improving right now. And I think it's on an upward trajectory of talent in the sport right now.
This is so crazy. 2019, Brendan Curry win the Mr. Olympia. William Bonek places second. We've only had 2020, 2021, and 2022. We've only had 3 Mr. Olympias. In 2019, Big Ramy was like, people were forgetting about him. He's done. He's never going to get in shape. He's never going to win anything, right? We had no idea who Samson Dauda was. I had judged him in 2019, coincidentally, but nobody was giving any attention to Samson Dauda. Nobody knew who Samson Dauda was. Derek Lunsford had not even won a 212 Olympia champion. Hadi Chupin was in there, but he was fairly smaller competitor, right? Hunter and Nick Walker, they were like amateurs that just turned pro, right? Nobody was talking about them. 2019, did we know who Andrew Jack was?
No.
Had no clue. Carlos Thomas Jr., no clue. What we are experiencing is a complete transition. And I think we're going to see these guys for 10, 15 years. But as a complete transition of times. You know, we got done with the times of Phil Heath. He competed with Brendan Curry. He competed with William Bonek and all those guys. That generation is literally over. And here comes the new generation. We're going to talk about this as a new generation. The Derek Lunsford, Nick Walker, Hunter Labrada, Andrew Jack, and Samson Dauda generation.
When you have a wolf pack of guys and the older wolves, they get a few scars, they, get a few injuries. The younger generation is coming up. They're looking to see their chance at being the top of the wolf pack. And that's what we're seeing right now.
Are we looking back, though, to the 90s since we've had that stacked and specific
Possibly.
a top 10?
I just want to give credit to my co-host for mentioning as a analogy, a reference, our sponsor, Wolfpack joined the pack.
That was on purpose. That was on purpose. I got y'all.
We know it wasn't on purpose, but we're working on it.
I don't have one myself, but I got y'all. I got y'all back.
Chris,
I got y'all back.
We help you make you look like
back.
a genius. Okay?
I got y'all back. I got y'all back.
Oh, you are an absolute pro, Chris. As in pro tan. Guys, we're going to have quite the battle for the Olympia in Orlando this year, November 2nd to the 5th. We enjoy having you there, and we hope you're enjoying these Olympia battles. We've got one more coming up that we're going to talk about in another episode, but it is a blast to just watch these guys duke it out, the top guys in their individual divisions, and see how they train, what kind of intensity and weight. We hope you're enjoying it, and we're looking forward to what's coming up next when we come back on Primetime Muscle.
There aren't a lot of pre-workouts out there that are designed for that cross-functional athlete. So when you begin training, you need energy, and that's why we've included caffeine anhydrous. In phase 2, your body's demanding ATP. So we've included creatine HCl, and once you're moving, we want to keep it that way. So we've added FitNox to improve performance. We're really dedicated to providing pre-workout options for everyone, for every goal.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Primetime Muscle, and it's time for one of the favorite bits that we do here on this, where we do trivia, and we let two of the least competitive people we have in our staff, oh gracious, these two, go at each other, and it's a little segment we now call Wheel of Muscle. Thank you both. We would like to bring out our first contestant, a man who judges shows around the world, and a man who is an amazing person and father, husband and father to two beautiful kids. Welcome our very own Tarek El-Gindi. And please welcome to the stage Hall of Fame bodybuilder, the king of drip, and the current and reigning champion of our trivia, the one and only Chris, the real deal, Cormier. All right, good to have you, Chris. It's a half an hour show. All right.
All right, the GOAT is here.
We welcome Chris
The champ.
and the Golden Goat. Guys, we got a little different structure today.
Yeah.
Let's get things underway.
Let's put my intro music on.
Let's get the rules right, because last time the rules were not right.
Well-
they were in favor of him.
This is a little different structure today, Tarek, to try to belay those rules as Chris gives CPR to his Golden Goat. This is actually even more structured. It's called Wheel of Muscle. We're going to do a Wheel of Fortune style. And we're going to start off with our category. And our category is the fitness division. And this is going to be something about the fitness division. Chris, we're going to bring up the wheel and let you spin first since you are our reigning champ. Go ahead and spin. We'll get a value on it and pick a letter.
Let's get a spin. Let's get a spin.
All right, pick a letter, Chris.
Goodness gracious. M.
Chris, there's no M. All right, Tarek, give us a spin.
A. Oh,
Oh,
spin.
give us a spin.
The big hustle, yeah.
That's you.
For $600.
$600, pick a letter.
A.
A, and to my knowledge, that's a vowel. Pick another letter.
No, he already picked one.
B.
How many?
B.
No. That. Yes,
Okay.
pick one of the highlighted letters.
B. B.
Yeah, well, that
B.
just shows how incompetent he is.
And there is no B. All right, Chris, give us a
Stop
spin.
complaining. You're such a little.
There's no B.
Spin it up.
There's
Let's
no
go.
B. He can't be a bitch, there's no B.
100.
Guess a letter?
Take your time.
F.
All right, Chris guesses F, and there is no F. All right, Tarek, dial this in. Here we go.
What is this?
We're 0-0 still, well into our show.
Spin.
It has to do with
Yeah, I've been
fitness.
trying. I got a little M and a L.
Okay. Let's pick a letter. L.
L. We
No.
do have an L. There's one L. All right. Tarek, you still have the board. You want to spin again?
Spin again.
Have either of you watched Wheel of Fortune before?
Not that.
The goal is to try to pick letters in the puzzle. Go ahead, Tarek.
I want the survey says.
Let's go with the letter P.
There is a P.
See?
All right. It has to do with fitness. Go and spin again, Tarek.
Spin.
If Whitney Jones was here, she already would have solved. 100.
Okay. Let's go with the letter R.
R. And there is no R. Chris, you're in charge of the board. Give us a spin.
Gee, he got $400. Spin it up.
$400 wouldn't buy you a pair of shoes, but that's okay. You now
I'm
have
about to catch him right now.
Chris.
S.
S. Chris. There are two S's.
Boom. Boom. Your face.
You want to take a look at that? It has to do with fitness.
Did I get Did I get $800 with that?
You got 800. But did you want to spin or solve?
Spanish.
Spin it up.
Spin it up.
Another spinner for Chris. Not the first time. Here we go.
Not sure. Oh, that was in the middle of what?
Guess a letter? Chris is
H. Give me an H.
it is not gonna be an H.
Okay. Can I buy a vowel?
Sure, well,
Let me buy a vowel.
or you can guess one. Buy a vowel, go ahead.
Let me buy A.
All right, there's no A. Chris, spin again.
You're off the table.
You want to buy a vowel or you want to spin?
Spin it up. Woo!
600,
Big
Chris.
dog. Big dog. Big dog.
I can't lose to this guy. He didn't even finish high school.
It's a dick. Survey. Give me a D.
And there is a D, Chris.
Boom! Boom!
All right, Chris. Do you want to? It has to do with fitness. Do you want to buy a vowel or spin?
Spin it. I got so much money.
Chris currently at $1,400. He can buy a pair of pants. Okay.
A pair of
The rest of us would pay a mortgage, but Chris, pick a vowel. Pick a letter.
C.
C.
C for Chris.
Not sure where you would put that. You could use the board. Tarek, it's all you. You want to buy a vowel or spin?
You sound
Well,
like you
I
know
don't
what
have
this
money
is.
to buy a vowel. You
better
need to
try
buy
spin it.
vowels, otherwise we're gonna stay here forever.
I want all the money.
Go ahead and spin, Tarek.
Spin.
Get you $2.
There's no more, consonants.
There is one more consonant.
That would be T.
There is one T, Tarek. And it has to do with fitness.
Okay.
You want to spin, solve, or buy a vowel?
I want
you
to.
solve-
I
wait,
want
wait,
to-
wait.
Hey, wait! What are you doing? What are you doing?
You gotta solve
Shut the hell up! It's not your turn. Buy a vowel. buy I. That's gonna be a split.
And there are two I's. And you want to solve?
Yes, I solved this.
What is it, Tarek?
Yes, side split.
What the hell is that?
And it is.
Why?
Yeah.
Why would that be a side split?
Okay. Where's your
that
money,
mean?
jackass?
$250.
Where's your money, jackass?
On to the next round.
Where's your money, jackass?
Tarek, this has to do with Jay
What is
Cutler.
side split?
We're moving on. This has to do with Jay Cutler. You're in
What
charge of the
hell
board.
is that?
Yes.
You want to spin?
Yes, spin.
This has to do with Jay Cutler.
Okay.
All right, Tarek went bankrupt. You get to spin.
Main. Split. I spin. I'm gonna go with J.
All right, this is Jay. Tarek?
Yeah, I want to solve it.
All right.
Go ahead.
Boston, Mass.
Quad stomp. Quad
Okay.
stomp. What? What?
Congratulations!
Tarek is,
Congratulations, bozo!
Give me that trophy.
Congratulations, bozo!
Give me that trophy.
Congratulations, you got no
Give me
money.
that trophy.
I'm still
right.
number one, baby.
moving on to our
that
next
trophy.
topic. Tarek came to play. All right, guys.
You got to get money first. I think that's the object of the game.
Category, you are still
Bozo.
in charge of this. The category is nicknames.
I hit my knee.
Wait, let me get a drink.
I hit my
Wait.
knee, Nicole. Oh man.
It always happens like that. Jumping off the stage, and in this situation,
All right,
celebrating too much.
you got 400 on the line. Pick a letter. Category is nicknames.
F.
F.
Oh, this is.
You want to spin before you solve for no money?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Spin. Oh, this is not easy.
All right, Chris.
$600. T.
T. There are 3 T's, Chris. The category being nicknames.
Boom,
You're at
boom,
$1,500.
H.
You want to spin before we guess?
Spin.
Yes, let's spin.
Oh yeah.
400.
Make that bank. H.
H. There is 1 H, Chris. You are now at $2,200. All right. Want to buy a vowel, spin, or solve?
Spin.
Category nicknames, Chris.
I'm gonna run it up on him. Run it up.
$100.
I'll work for that.
Chris playing for $100, the amount of a child support payment to one of the third world countries. Derek claims he has kids in.
S.
S. There is approximately no S's. Tarek.
Why do you make me feel like it might be an S?
You have
and then
the-
you say it's not.
Because I know better. Chris? Tarek?
Spin.
You were close, though. You were close. $400, Tarek.
You ain't got no money.
C.
C. Chris, let's see if there's a C up there.
Nope.
No.
You ain't got no money.
Spin away.
Spin it. Spin it to win it.
Wheel of Muscle, here we go. Category is nicknames. Chris playing for $700.
Ooh-wee. Damn. Give me a... Why isn't it? Stop moving that. Give me
No, there is no shit up there.
Pick a letter.
leave me alone. Give me Tim, if you will. M, the mutant. The mutant.
Chris wants to solve.
I want to solve it. It's the mutant. No.
And it is the mutant.
Oh, give me all the money. Give me all the money. I am the goat. I am the goat. I am the goat. Look at all the money.
So solving
Let's
the
go
puzzle,
home. Let's
solving
just
the
go
puzzle
home.
doesn't give you any points.
Not if
No, you gotta have money.
You gotta have money.
Money makes the world go round, Terry. Don't you know?
I got
Don't
two
you know,
right.
baby?
You got one right.
Why do I come here for this? Why don't they have someone that I can actually go up against?
The game. Unfortunately, this game is benefiting the person with the lowest IQ.
All right. Like, share, comment on who you think should have won
Who
this
do you
game.
think should have won this? The
The
beast,
person with the lower IQ or the person
big
who actually
dog.
has the higher IQ?
the hog with the big nuts.
We'll be back with more Primetime Muscle.
You diet down, train hard, and supplement smart for months. When the time comes to step on stage, don't leave your tan to chance. Go with the pros. Pro Tan. #1 worldwide since 1987 and the official sponsor of the Olympia for the last 15 years. Don't step on stage without it. Pro Tan.
And we're back, and we had enough time in between the last two segments for you to either finish your cardio or whatever you had to do, and for us to throw a little water on Tarek and cool him off. You had your moments. You know what? We'd love to hear
No,
what...
Tim, I'm
You
sorry.
could have did good.
I'm
you,
sorry.
You could have been a contender.
First of all, it's not could have did, it's could have done. Okay? And that's the whole point of this.
how
I'm
many-
constantly displaying my higher IQ than you. But the reality is, obviously, the culminating point of the game is to find out the word. I give you credit for, hey, the mutant. I give you credit. That
Why?
is
Why do you give me
harder.
credit?
That
Why
is
do-
harder
why do you give me a
than
credit?
picking the letter.
Why do you give me
I
a
got
credit?
2 right and you got 1 right. I'm
What?
the winner of the show.
What do you mean,
We keep coming
1
up
right?
with these shows to
And I
help
keep
you
knocking
win.
you down
Help
every time
you
we
win.
bring 'em up.
To
I'm
help
knocking
you
out the
win.
park.
Okay?
To
To
help
help
me
you
win.
win. There's a conspiracy between you and Nico, okay, to help you win.
Did you check our text messages?
All right, we'll leave this
How
up
do
to
you know?
we'll leave this up to you, the viewer, to put in your comment who you think should have won, if it was a fair contest, or if it should have been judged with different lighting, or if somebody
Terry
was
was just
holding water.
upset and
I
he's
don't know.
taking shots, personal shots at me.
Let's keep things moving because we've got an interesting potential shakeup. Sydney Gillen, our vitamin C, has been dominating the figure class for a while, but of course you got Natalia Soltero has been right there at her heels with some amazing shape, size, symmetry, just personifying the division. Now you got Lola Montez there as well, and we either have a battle for first or a really solid battle for second, Tarek, and we're going to use your higher IQ to break down these pictures behind us. You want to help us out?
I just want to tell you, I love the introduction. If you can keep that consistent, we're going to use your higher IQ. And then just give a glance to Chris Cormier. Anyways, thank you, Tim. That's why you're my favorite.
Shots.
Okay. Here's the reality. Sydney Gillen has been dominant. She's been dominant since Latoria Watts retired. Why has she been so dominant? It's called 100% pure genetics. You don't have a lot of variations in figure. You don't have back lat spread. You don't have angles on the front pose. It's your front stance, your side poses, and your back pose. If you have a big waist, you're going to be exposed. If you don't have higher lats, you're going to be exposed. Now, we're talking about Sydney Gillen being one of the best genetically gifted athletes at the Olympia stage. Natalia Soltero has been there, and she's genetically gifted. Jessica Reyes Padilla, second place, very good competitor. She knows the game. There is one competitor that could very well be just as good in the genetic department as Latoria Watts and Sydney Gillen.
Her name is Lola. She was a showgirl. Go ahead.
You take the air out of my sail one more time. I'll knock the shit out of you.
Go ahead, Tarek.
I will freaking tackle you in front of everybody.
We're going to move some furniture.
I'm right here with you.
We're going to move some furniture. It's okay. I'm okay with it.
You take the air out of my sail one more time. We're going to move some furniture here.
Why do you mess with the Brazilians? Go ahead, Tarek. I got a question when you're done.
Lola Montez is incredible, dynamic, small waist, the quads, right here with all... excuse me, guys. Look at those separation on the quads. Look at the small waist. And then you go, oh, man, she might have a small back. Something is wrong with her back. And look at this. Look at that back separation. Look at this. Look at those legs. Bigger calves than Chris Cormier has ever had. Okay? Incredible. Lola Montez can make an impact at the Miss Olympia. She can shake up things. She can be figure Olympia champion. That's how good she is.
Well, before we get too much farther, though, this is something we talk about with men's physique, and I brought up in another episode with figure. And I'll read from the IFBB Pro Professional League the definition of what they're looking for. Figure athletes should display an overall balance of muscular development, which includes rounded delts, sweep to the quads, back depth and width, emphasis on a balance and symmetry. A couple other things. Figure athletes should not display striations or graininess, muscularity, and thickness associated with women's physique. Do you think that's right on the edge of going a touch too far?
She might be a little bit too hard, especially on the separation on the arms and maybe on the legs. So maybe she could soften up a little bit, especially because she's quite muscular. So if she could, you see that separation right there? Shoulder, bicep right there.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit too hard.
I like it too.
I like that.
No, I know you do. Just a little softer, and I think she could be better. But just when we say a little softer, Tim, is just a little bit.
Are you talking about hamburger soft or are you talking about pizza soft?
Pizza soft.
Pizza soft.
Okay.
All right.
So just a pizza before the, add a little bit of sodium, retain a little bit of water, so that those separations are not that deep. But she's got the muscularity, she's got the genetics, she's a good poser, and she could be right there.
Now, I like, from the waist up, you compare these two shots, there's a touch wider lat that does make the stomach look, the waist look a little smaller. There's a little more roundness to the delt that I like a little bit more. There are some differences in the two poses where she wins in a couple of those spots, right off the bat without any more changes.
Absolutely. I think Lola Montez is the biggest threat that Sydney Gillen has faced since LaToya Watts.
Latoya Watts, I mean, that name rings a bell. I mean, she had this physique that was, I mean, I would love to see her again, but that's for another segment. But I love what Lola has here. I mean, those legs are reminiscent of my own. Mine was a little bit more extreme, but I love that. I don't know, I just love it. I know it might be a little bit extreme for some people's taste, but I'm liking it. And I like the shape from the back. I mean, it's not like you have like a lot of striations, but there is, you know, some separation that I do like.
All right. We look forward to what the challengers bring to the top 5. Offhand, do you know if Lola is already qualified for this year's Olympia?
She won the Toronto show last year. She placed in the top 3. Let me check that.
So while you're checking that, you know, we're all big fans of the other podcasts, and there was a recent Generation Iron that had Phil Heath on it. I think it was Generation Iron. It had Phil Heath on, talking about a possible comeback. And I saw a picture recently of Phil in a pretty darn good condition. You know, that nice big teardrop of the quads sticking out from underneath the shorts that's already striated at probably 260, 270 without even trying. But it alluded to the fact that the Olympia may not be his comeback site.
Right.
What do you think is a path for him, and what do you think is even available to him?
Could be the Arnold. Could be something like even the Night of Champions, the New York Pro. That could very well be something in his range of competition. I could see that happening very well. Could even be something like Texas, that he has his competition in Texas. Could be the Texas Pro next year. I don't know.
Now, I'm trying to remember historically.
Just want to give you that information. Lola Montez is qualified for the 2023 Mr. Olympia, the top 3 in every class, and she placed there. So her, Jessica Padillas, and Sid already qualified.
And she has that tiny body, just like the champ. So she's not like she's very tall. So she, you know, her and you know, Jessica, I mean, they're still right there, I believe, to, you know, be threats for the throne.
Awesome. Well, Tarek, we were talking as you were researching for us about Phil Heath potentially coming back, and I'm historically, I think the only time that's been done with that big a gap was Arnold back in the 70s to 1980. Is there anybody else that's taken that big a hiatus, 3-4 years even, and come back after being an Olympian, Mr. Olympia, and cracking the top 5?
Tim, I can't think of, and I think there's a reason for it. You know, winning the Olympia is being at the highest level of competitive bodybuilding, and once you get taken off the top, it's possibly because of injury, it was the case with Phil Heath, it was the case with Dorian Yates, Jay Cutler, Ronnie Coleman, and I mean, if you look historically, when a guy loses an Olympia, for him to regain it is nearly impossible. Only Jay Cutler in 2009 has been able to do it.
That was only being removed 1 year.
They call it just a slip, you know? Yeah, or Dexter looked incredible that year and beat him. But I don't think it's something that Phil feels comfortable doing.
It's a lot to put yourself out there.
He wants to be remembered as, you know, the 7-time Olympia champion. He doesn't want to go on that. You know, I know he took 3rd last time he competed, but I don't remember it. But if he comes back and he takes a 6th place at the Olympia, that's not Phil Heath. Phil Heath is 7-time Mr. Olympia, and that's how we want to be remembered. We don't want to remember Michael Jordan Wizard times. We want to remember Michael Jordan The Last Dance.
Did the Bulls. Give us your thoughts on Lola Montez, Jessica Reyes-Padilla, or Natalia Soltero.
What do you think of the legs?
What do you think of those legs? And, of course,
much?
what do you think of possible Phil Heath comeback, and where do you put him? What should be his path? What show would you come back to if you were Phil Heath? Guys, as always, good hanging out with you.
Excellent hanging out with you. I think we should take a look at some of the rules of these games. I'm sick and tired of beating this guy, and then you guys come out and say, well, you know, he won on a technicality.
Well, Chris, until the next time, you can go home and polish the golden goat, as they say. I'm Tim Wilkins. Like, share, subscribe, and keep your workouts up and your diet tight. Tim Wilkins, we'll see you next time on Primetime Muscle.